I will never buy from Arctic Wolf Studio anymore. I bought their Seele at price around $300 and the figure has problems. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. Today bringing you the 7th episode of which third-party resin figure brand is any good. So with this series of videos of mine, usually we explore together actual product pictures of third-party resin figures, which one is good, which one isn't, because these third-party resin figure brands, they actually release pictures of their actual products, their actual figures, and 95% of the photographs over here came directly from this channel's affiliate partner, which is OshGK. The remaining 5%, this time around, I have decided to take your post in my Discord server. So there are a few things which I find kind of important, so I am going to share it with everyone else regarding third parties outside of my Discord server. Firstly, the elephant in the room, Dodomo Studio, they have been in trouble for a while, and barely 2 weeks ago, I have published a video on Dodomo Studio's current condition, their current status, where I said that they have not shut down yet. They are still operating, but they did not respond to communications from some figure stores. Well, guess what? I'm not sure if they saw my video or anyone else's, but they have finally responded with an official statement. So that is where we shall begin with today's video. Right here, important announcement. And we'll zoom in just for easier reading right here. Okay, I'm still trying to get used to Mac OS, you see? Yeah. Okay, dear customers and fans, the past year has been incredibly challenging for us, as all figure production factories have faced immense pressure due to legal compliance reviews in mainland China. This review process led to the forced closure of many factories, causing significant delays in our product shipments. However, we have not interrupted our shipping plans, and we have been patiently waiting for updates on the legal compliance regulations for outsourcing production of such products in mainland China. So I told you guys, they are still alive and well. However, this is where the bad news begins. Recently, we had discussions with our factories and have decided that in order to meet the legal compliance risk in mainland China, all future shipments of our products will undergo redesigns. For certain sensitive parts of the character designs, figures will now feature modest coverings on sensitive areas. Though we will still use as little covering as possible to retain the sensual aesthetic of the figure, they will still be as captivating as before. We deeply apologize to customers who have already placed pre-orders. Over the next period, we will gradually release images of the modified designs. Additionally, we will include an acrylic standee as a gift for every pre-order as a token of appreciation. Our plan is to accelerate production, and we will soon ship the Cecilia and Asuna standing figure versions. I told you guys already. Like, you guys have been asking me, bombarding me with questions on Cecilia and Asuna all over the place. My Facebook private messages, on my page, of course, in my Discord server and so on. So this is the answer right here. Still on track, but no more pink gate for you guys. We have also released images of these two figures post-modification along with photos of the standees. If you are unable to accept these changes, please contact your dealer for a refund. However, we hope that customers who have already pre-ordered will continue to support us. Alright, and blah blah blah. Alright, so the main takeaways over here. Number one, Dodomo Studio is still alive, still making figures. Number two, because they have to follow the laws right now, it is either that or they shut down completely by the government. Unfortunately, those of us outside of China, we can't do anything. They have to follow the laws in their country. Even though they are now operating from Taiwan, from what I know, I guess that a majority of their customers are still based in mainland China. So if they refuse to sell to mainland China, then they lose a large portion of their customer base, and that is not yet factoring the salty people who are not getting their cultured pink gate figures anymore, and they cancel their pre-orders. Yep, that is going to happen. How many of people will do it? I don't know, but some people are going to cancel it. To me, those edgy parts are not a must-have just for a figure to be good, but at the same time, one can argue that the whole reason, the whole point people pre-ordered Dodomo Studio's figures is exactly because of those parts. So I can understand that people are upset, but there's nothing else we can do. And they are trying to stay in business. So here we go. This is Dodomo Studio and their official press release or statement. Now getting back to today's topic. On the figures we are about to explore, starting off with Alice21 Studio. I cover them almost every episode because they keep releasing new stuff and the stuff are actually pretty nice. So this is Hoshimi Miyabi from Zenless Zone Zero by Alice21 Studio. 1/6 scale. Now I'm not sure if Alice21 Studio is still releasing the 18 plus parts. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But what I'm certain is that they are making great stuff because this figure over here, she looks incredible. The face is spot on. Just that if there is one small wish of mine, I feel like her hair can make do with a bit more shading, like a bit more, yeah, color graduation, right? Like this is like dark olive, gray, green kind of color. I'm not sure how to describe it. Yeah, it would be nicer if we have some bright spots in the middle, you know? Yeah. But otherwise, this is looking excellent. There is not much else I would change. The next one here by Alice21 Studio, just as good looking. I'm not sure of her name, this one. From Zenless Zone Zero as well. And you see the blush they retain on her face. That is very important because some third parties, right? They show you how the figure's face look like, but when the actual figure comes out, some of the more intricate details have disappeared. And blushes on faces are one of the most common parts they cut off in terms of details. So they are preserving everything over here. This is nice. Look at the amount of details. This is amazing. And you look at the far left corner over there, you'll see that, yep, that is an Ahegao face. I'm not sure if Alice21 Studio will make the 18 plus parts, but at least you get the Ahegao face over there, which is something only included in the deluxe variant of the figure. I couldn't find any casted off pictures of this figure, so do bear that in mind. The next one here, okay, top picture. Now I have to zoom in this picture. This is a high-res picture because I wanted to show you something. Okay, so you look at this white color stripe along the sleeve over here, painted with such precision. Very nice masking work over there. So the paint work overall is very promising, very solid. I would buy their figures, right? If you will ask me, can I trust Alice21 Studio? I would say yes, you can. Alright, moving on to the next one. This is from Arctic Wolf Studio. So they have gotten themselves into some drama again. And it is from a member in my own Discord server. We will get to that in a second. The first one here is Yuan from Honkai Star Rail. The face is spot on like Arctic Wolf Studio. I never had problems with the face of their figures. Now I want to point out the paintwork on her dress, on her chest region, the gold color trims, the detail part, very precise as well. Yeah, so Arctic Wolf Studio, when they get it right, they can make really good figures. The problem is that their customer service is bad, which brings us to this post over here, this screenshot in my Discord server. Alright, so let me zoom in a little. Okay, so coming from Kotori Aiko, I will never buy from Arctic Wolf Studio anymore. I bought their seal at price around $300 US, and the figure has problems. I was chatting to my supplier to ask if any after service for my figure. He said Arctic Wolf Studio says no. And after I saw their conversation, which is in Chinese Mandarin by the way, Arctic Wolf looks like they don't really care. So I'm feeling upset and decided not to buy any new figure from Arctic Wolf anymore. Expensive and no after sales service at all. So apparently, to cut to the chase over here, there is some kind of defect. A major one that made it impossible to display this figure of Seele from Honkai Star Rail. And let's get back to the next screenshot over here. Alright, so my reply over here, I see the problem now. I don't know if you wanna take this risk, but you will have to bend the wing. And to do it, you need to heat it up a lot using with either with a hairdryer or boiling water in order to soften the part, and then it is probably distorted when the resin part shrunk during curing. Okay, so parts are not fitting, and because of that, indirectly, you can't display the figure. Now, let me explain how resin works. Okay, so with resin, usually, when the material goes from liquid to solid, there will be a certain amount of shrinkage. That is the nature of the material. So if there are any errors on your 3D printer in settings, in curing time, or if you're using the casting method, not 3D printing, which is to say you mix AB resin and let it set over 24 to 48 hours, if you get the mixing ratio wrong, or your environment, your temperature is off, then there are some factors, some properties of the resin material that might change. So one of them, the most common one, is shrinkage. So you get parts that are either too loose or they don't fit, or worse, the entire shape of the object will change a little. So this figure over here, this seal by Honkai, from Honkai Star Rail, made by Arctivo Studio, it looks amazing in this 3D render. And based on the pictures I saw, the paint work is excellent. So it is a shame that there is a major defect. This is the first picture over here. So my guess is that the wing has distorted. Normally, do I have any object? Okay, I'll just use this power bank as an example. So let's say this is her wing right here, exactly horizontal. So you have a metal rod from beneath into the base and another one on the side into the figure, exactly at right angles. So if the material, if this wing has distorted during manufacturing, maybe it sagged down a little, or it bent up, forward, backward, doesn't matter which direction, then the metal rod will not align with the hole in the wing anymore, isn't it? I think you can imagine that. So let's say the wings has sagged down ever so slightly, and the metal rod could not go into the hole at right angles anymore. It has to go in this way. So yeah, you change the angle of the wing so that you are able to plug into the base, but now the figure is tilted one side. So this is what happens over here, right? There are two possibilities on why something like this happens. Number one is that they drill the holes wrongly, which is the less likely one, because usually the connecting packs in a figure, they have already designed it in advance on computer software when they do the 3D modeling. The number two possibility, the more likely one, is that the material distorted. Yes. So here we have more pictures from Kotori, and we do have a video here as well. I need to open a new window, I guess. Yep. Okay, so he sends in this video. He will try to plug it on one side of the base, the hole in the base right there. Okay, once it goes in, you'll see that the pack at the back of the figure does not align. See? That metal rod behind there that goes into the back of the figure, the angle is off. He couldn't push the pack in because the wings are distorted. Yep. So apparently, Arctivo Studio refused to entertain any of his requests on replacement parts. If you look at Good Smile Company, normally they'll send you a replacement part if there are anything wrong with it. Arctivo Studio, or any third parties for the matter, they are way smaller companies. They probably don't have any extra parts lying around to just send it out like that. But you know what? They should own up to their mistakes and send this guy a replacement part. I would say both wings, because we don't know whether it is the right or the left one that has problems, or maybe both. But they should send him free parts. Yup. You look at the figure, it looks very nicely painted, isn't it? So it is quite a shame that the figure cannot be displayed properly. And this could have been prevented in the first place if they test-fitted the figure before putting it and packaging it into a box. Shame on you, Arctivo Studio. Do something about this. Please do something about it. Moving on to the next one, also Arctic Wolf Studio, we have Rabbit Hole Hatsune Miku. Look at how nicely made this figure is. Like, there is nothing I would change about this figure. The face, the smile, the expression, the blush, the color gradient on her hair, everything is perfectly executed. And this is what Arctic Wolf Studio is capable of. If only they would improve the quality control of the production, like make sure everything is right before they package the figure into their boxes, that would be great. Yeah, this looks amazing. Moving on to the next one, this is BC Studios 1/6 scale Asuma Toki from Blue Archive. Okay, and if this figure feels familiar to you, yep, this is a recast of a GK that was sold in limited quantities in Wonder Festival, I think a few years back, which means indirectly this is a bootleg, and I cannot recommend or encourage you guys to buy counterfeit products. But at the same time, I have also received comments from people all over social media saying that these things, there were like 200 or 300 units only ever made. I want it, and if they licensed this sculpt to a genuine figure brand to have it mass produced, I would pay for it. That is what they told me. They would pay like $200 for a genuine version of this figure. So I do understand where you are coming from, and I can sympathize with you in a way. I understand why you would buy this anyway, regardless of the counterfeit status. It is not like you don't want to support, but you don't have a choice. So that is what you are saying. Now, me as a content creator that has a certain amount of influence, I don't want to encourage or promote people to buy counterfeit products. That is a bit unethical on my side. So I'm just doing my job over here, covering the figure the way it is. And just because something is recasted, it does not necessarily mean it is cheap trash. As you can see over here, this figure of Asuma Toki, they have replicated her face faithfully. It looks the same as the original GK. The only difference I can see is that, yeah, the bunny suit is black color instead of blue. I think they released the blue color version before, and this is like a re-release of some kind but different color. Yeah. There are another two figure brands that comes to mind when it comes to counterfeiting official GKs. Number one would be Dragonstone Studio. They even have their own Taobao store. And number two would be Fixed Cast Studio. They do the same thing. Yes. Okay, I'm moving on to the next one here. This one is not my kind of thing, but I'm just sharing it with you. Black and White Studio, Kamishiro Rize from Tokyo Ghoul. So this figure, I remember her very well. She went on pre-order sometime last year. And I think it was around $210, was it? You'll get 1.5 figures over here. One with the ghoul face and one with the human face and glasses. And the human face version is attached to a different dress, which is kind of cool. Like, not too expensive when you consider what you get in the package. And the base is quite attractive. I think the base is where I like the most about this figure. Yeah. Otherwise, like, how many people are still buying Tokyo Ghoul stuff? I think the badly rushed anime really ruined the reputation of this title, even though the manga is not necessarily that bad. Yeah. Moving up to the next one here from Bright Studio, we have Windsmoke Reiju from One Piece. Alright, the thing with this figure is that the translucent magenta purple part, or pink, rather pink, right? The translucent pink part, I'm not sure what to think about it. It looks like plastic bag or even condom in some way. I'm not sure. It looks funny. Like, maybe I'm just... Anyways, my focus here is on the face. Okay, this image is about 4,000 pixels wide. We can zoom in a little. Let's have a look at the face right here and see what it is like. Oh, okay, it is nice. Alright, so no problems with the face over here. Now, moving on to the next one. Okay, this is Bronya J-Chick by Peach Studio. I have only one single picture over here. And you see that preview in the back. Yes, this figure is cast-offable if you buy the deluxe version. Not cheap. You see, now that the Chinese government has banned 18+ figures from their domestic brands, it means that these kind of cast-off-able figures, the existing ones, are just going to get more expensive as they become rarer. Yeah. Now, you may have noticed how the shape of her head is a bit weird. They haven't installed the ponytail from the looks of it. Like, the upper half of the head is quite big and then it narrows down really quickly. I think this is the fault of smartphone cameras, which I have discussed in detail before. A smartphone normally has a wide-angle lens, and with wide-angle lenses, they tend to distort perspective. They make the head of anime figures longer, they make the legs look longer, things like that. Yeah. So let me bring up this post over here, this listing on OSGK. Yep, this is the one. We make some comparisons over here. So the official product pic right here, you can see that the shape of her head looks a bit more normal over here, but the general shape, the entire shape of the head is roughly the same as the user picture earlier. So it is really the fault of the camera they used to take pictures of the figure. The face look alike. And yep, deluxe version is up to $410 now. Ouch. So with OSGK, they are partners with this channel just like Hobby Link Japan. If you feel like pre-ordering or buying anything, then make use of my links down in the description below to enter these websites. That is how you support this channel. Yep. Okay, so getting back to where we left off earlier. Alright, right here. And next figure from Celluloid Studio, Miorine Rembrandt from Gundam Witch from Mercury. Now this one looks kind of cheap. Like, it is a bit better than a priced figure, but yeah, pretty plain overall, and this is not something I would expect from Celluloid Studio, because in the previous episode of this video of mine, I have covered their Nikkei Alice, which looks fantastic actually at 1/6. This one, I hope this is cheap. I hope this is not too expensive, because yeah, nothing too special, though you do get a really nice base over there. I like the base a lot. Moving up next, okay, this pair of pictures, the quality isn't good, unfortunately. Chao Studio and HuiXiang Studio Hakure removed from Toho project. And this is exactly the kind of figure I dislike, because it looks like something a typical Asian parent or grandparents really love, you know, the feng shui decoration kind of thing, sometimes with water fountains. It looks like that to me. And the figure is just a very small portion in the center. It looks a bit messy and cluttered. Not a fan of it. Yeah, the moon in the back lights up, and I couldn't zoom in the face of this figure because the resolution of the picture is really low on this one. Yeah, not a fan of it, but at the same time, Reimu's face, I think it looks fine from this distance. Moving up next, we have Come On Studio Anya Forger. This is a Halloween limited version from late last year. The thing is that the face looks fine, nothing quite wrong with it. It looks exactly like Anya, but this is not the best Anya figure I'm about to cover today. There are nicer ones coming up soon. Moving up next, we have a Discord post, once again, coming from Briarios70, which is a Patreon member of this channel. He has shared with everyone that he purchased Coolbear Studio's 1/4 scale 2B from Nier Automata, and do you have any idea how envious I am? I mean, the positive kind of envious, not the negative kind of jealousy. Like, I'm happy for you because I can't afford this, not at the moment. So this thing is like $550 or $600 before shipping and any taxes, and this thing is amazing. So this is what it looks like when you open up the box. A lot of separate parts. This is the base portion and the katana, and I have a small concern over here. I don't know if her katana, her sword, is made of die-cast metal or is it made of resin, because if it was resin, then it is a bad idea to put the katana at the side of the box, because one moderate impact or knock on the box and that would fracture the sword. But if the sword is metal, then all is fine. Yeah. And then there is a second layer over here with the main figure, the base, and yeah, mostly parts from the figure looking good, but quite scary, you know. Like, I see so many parts that I need to put together. And this is what the base looks like. It looks like something that came out of Star Wars. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but you know what? I like it. Okay, and then you install this rings. Is it like a transport gate of some kind for teleportation? Looks like that to me. And that robot, that drone. Yep. Looking good so far. And this is the completed base, followed by the face. Okay. I have a question for everyone. If you bought a 2B figure, doesn't matter which scale or size or any company, would you display her with the blindfold or without? For me, it is difficult because 2B's signature look is with the blindfold, but the one without makes her face looks prettier. Yeah, so you have went for the blindfolded version, at least for this one. Now let's have a look at the high-res image version. Okay, look at the leather effect on the stockings over here. I love it so much, man. And this is the kind of detail you see in 1x4 scale resin figures. Even HuiXiang made 1x4 scale PVC figures, they also wouldn't give you this kind of texture finish. I'm not sure if it is possible to replicate this level of detail on a PVC figure that is 1/4. I would say it is possible, but they chose not to do it because it would inflate the cost a lot. Yeah, because Taito has this colorful line of price figures where some of the figures have this fabric-like texture and they are just 1x6 scale. So I would say it is possible. Yeah, looks amazing. And I like this battle damage scratches on it. Sometimes I feel like genuine PVC figure brands, they should give us, battle damage effect figures more. And I don't mean torn clothes alone, but this kind of scratch and actual damage to the surface, I think it looks quite cool and it makes the figure look more detailed. Yeah, but I'm not sure how many people would like figures like this, unfortunately. Okay, getting back here, now we shall move on to the next figure coming from Coreplay Studio, Perfect World Holding Earth. This is a licensed figure, and man, this is like perfectly executed, man. There is nothing I can complain about this figure. Look at her dress. The decal work is fabulous. It looks exotic even. And this is what the back of the figure looks like. If I'm not mistaken, this is only 1/6, but I think you don't want the 1/4. This is going to be massive, right? And I sure do hope that the lanterns have LED inside. This would be a perfect decoration for Lunar or Chinese New Year. This is very nice. I love it. Alright, next figure right here, Fan Art Studio Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. Okay, speaking of Fan Art Studio, one of you who watched my video, Alkireal, I'm sorry that I won't be showing your emails on the screen over here. I'm rushing this video out because of my schedule reasons. You have sent me pictures and a review of your Fan Art Studio Asuka Langley. Yup, and that figure is incredible. It is really nicely made. But yeah, the one by Beast Studio was quite a disaster. So getting back to Fan Art Studio over here, we have a look at Aerith. And my only concern here for a simple figure like this is the face, which I think they executed it very nicely. I don't think there is anything else that can be improved upon. I think looks quite convincing to me. And I think Aerith, right, her face is easier to get it right compared to characters like Tifa Lockhart. Many third-party brands couldn't get the face of Tifa right for some reason. It is very difficult, I think. Hell, even Square Enix couldn't get it right. Moving up next from FFS Studio of Raiden Shogun. Okay, so the quality, the paintwork, and the finish is very nice over here. But if I have one complaint, it is the sculpt of the figure. She looks too skinny, too anorexic even. And it is beginning to feel like I'm looking at the head of an adult being attached to the body of a child, right? You look at how skinny her legs or her thighs are. I think that is my only problem over here. Otherwise, everything else looks quite exquisite. The paintwork, the gold, man. I love it. Yeah, and you'll get open eyes and closed eyes version for this one. Moving up next, this is one of the most amazing Attack of Titan figures I've ever seen. And I have to wonder why I don't ever remember covering this figure in Figure News Fix in the past. Did I miss out on her? Coming from Freedom Studio, they make a lot of AOT stuff. This is, what's her name again? Is this Annie Lockhart? I think it is, right? So let's zoom in a little and have a look at the main figure in the center. Okay, the figure looks great, and look at the gradient paintwork on her shirt, her jeans, not jeans but looks like one. If there's one small complaint I have, I don't like the rocks over here because it looks plasticky in a way, like they are too shiny, you know. Rocks are not supposed to be shiny unless they are wet, of course, but I'm not sure if I like the shading work and the paint finish on the rocks. But otherwise, everywhere else, it looks, whoo. I wonder how much this thing cost, man. Yeah. This is probably just 1/6, going by the size of the window frames to the right. But this is likely to cost like $450 or $500, I think. Anyone of you bought this? Let me know. And let me know the price. Okay, moving on to the next one here. This is one of the few figures I want to highlight that I've saved so many pictures. So this is from Ghost Train Studio. I think I'm covering them for the first time. And when I saw pictures of this figure of Alan Joe from Zenless Zone Zero, man, I want it so badly. Is this 1/6? Going by the size of the crocodile clips, I think this is 1/6. This is genuine figure level of accuracy with the face sculpt, the paintwork as well. And this is what I call a complete figure, you know? Like, she comes with a diorama base, and the diorama does not take up too much space. The pose and everything, yep, a perfect package as I would call it. And this is a high-res image, 5700 pixels. Let's zoom in a bit. Because I have done the zooming in advance earlier. Look at the paintwork on her dress. Very precise, right? And I love how realistic the belt, the metallic parts look like. I'm a big fan of metallic paint, if done correctly. Naturally, I did not pre-order this, and I'm beginning to regret it a little, like, I hope that she is readily available after release. I really hope. Already released, right? Yeah. Okay, another picture that I would love to zoom in over here. Man, I'm not used to Mac OS yet and their navigation. Look at the chains. Woo! Decal work on her tail, yeah. This is as good as some genuine first-party PVC figures, man. Just as good, if not better. Did Apex Toys announce a figure of Alan Joe? I can't remember. I hope that they did so. But speaking of the base portion alone, I like this more than what Apex Toys have been doing to their Zenless figures. See, I saved so many pictures. Right, moving on to the next one from GULUGULU Studio. This is like a joke item, a meme item, but I like it a lot. Anya Forger cosplaying as Buddha, and this thing is massive. It is huge. I mean, you compare it to the lamps on the ceiling above in the background, this thing is like 1:2 scale, I think. Is it life size or 1:2 scale? And there is a smaller version. I think the smaller one is only 1:6 from the looks of it. Okay, moving on to the next one. Hakimi Studio, Alicia from Honkai Star Rail. I remember this one very well. She is sitting on a bunch of tree branches with her hair all stuck on it, man. It looks really nice, right? But in real life, if you have your hair stuck like that, good luck. So the face is nice. It looks accurate to me. And Hakimi Studio is a brand that in general I can recommend. They are not the best in the business, but the stuff they make so far are consistent enough. Just that Alicia, we have really nice PVC figures already from Apex Toys, and I really wish that I get to review it someday. Yeah. So my only concern with this one is that will it break during shipping? Moving on to the next one, we have Fuxian from Hakimi Studio as well. So with Fuxian, we already have the Apex Toys one, which I reviewed recently. And I don't think you need anything else more than that unless you want something customable, a cultured figure. Then you start looking for third parties where there are a few existing third party Fuxian figures that have that feature. So better hurry before they sell out and become expensive. With this one over here, I don't like the effect parts surrounding her. Like, it is a bit too distracting, like it is stealing attention away from the main figure. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I like this one. Next one here, I have mentioned this figure so many times, HeRa Studio's Violet Evergarden 1x4. But since I got my hands on the factory production pictures, might as well share it with you. And to me, in my opinion, this is the best Violet Evergarden figure ever made. Genuine or third party. All of that included. Now, I really wish that HuiXiang would make something like this in 1x4, but yeah, not bunny. This kind of outfits over here, this saber outfit as I call it, right? But I think that maybe a Chinese brand would get their hands on, yeah, the license for a Violet Evergarden figure like this. Like Solarin has started doing 1x4, and also Hobby Sakura, I think they are more likely than HuiXiang to do a 1x4 figure of Violet Evergarden that is not a bunny figure. We will see. I'm just guessing over here. High res image, so let's zoom in a little. Okay, so the suitcase, look at the surface finish, looks like real leather. Not like leather, this is more like the cloth kinds of suitcase, right, that was popular like 100 years ago. Very nicely replicated, shading on her outfit, the saber outfit. And the face looks fine. I know it looks a little bit elongated over here, but this is probably the fault of smartphone cameras once again. Okay, we have more pictures. Okay, moving on to the next one, Discord post again. This is from Star Angel, where you purchased Hobby House Studio's Makima, and you had some small difficulties assembling it. But after I saw your pictures, which I want to share with everyone right now, what do you think about the skin color of this Makima? To me, it is a little bit off, but I think this could have been intentional and a conscious decision by the studio. They chose to give her a pink color skin, but it is too much pink, too much magenta to me. So with the human skin, there are three main types of tones: warm, neutral, and cold. If you look at white people from northern European regions, the Nordics and so on, the Caucasians, sometimes their skin are so fair that there is a slight pink color undertone to it that is cold skin tone. Another character I can think of with a pink or cold skin tone would be Supersonico, easy example, right? And Makima, her skin is more like warm. It is yellowish, not pinkish, right? If I remembered correctly. So this is a bit off. For us Asians, East Asians, Southeast Asians, our skin is leaning towards warm. Okay, and I know once again, the face, the head looks elongated, but this is the fault of smartphone cameras. We zoom in a little over here. Okay, so the face is actually the same as the official product pictures by Hobby House Studio. I have no problems with it. I have reviewed their Marine Kitagawa. It was really good, but there were some tiny QC issues that I hope did not apply to this figure. Doesn't seem like there is any of it. The grey color paint scratches, right? Yep, I don't see it on this copy of Makima. The Marine Kitagawa figure I reviewed has that problem. Alright, getting back over here, moving on to the next one, the shoes. Okay, another Discord post coming from Onsk Mia, O-N-S-K Mia. You purchased HuiXiang Studio's Violet Evergarden and you shared some pictures. It looks really nice. I wonder why every Violet Evergarden figure has a slightly elongated head. Maybe they make it that way so that she looks less like Saber. This is like Saber Lily version of Violet Evergarden. And this is what the entire figure looks like. This is a 1/4, and if I remembered correctly, this is cheaper than the HeRa Studio one. This was a bit over $400, am I correct? Yeah. But given everything included, that is a great price, and I personally would prefer if they don't cover up her arm. At least her right arm over there. Expose it, all of the mecha parts, and she would look a lot nicer. Yeah. Even the hairstyle reminds me of Saber, except Saber has one single bun on top, not two of them. Nice, very nice. Right, next up we have Hunter Studio, Shirahoshi from One Piece. I think this is like, is it 1/8 and 1/6 or 1/7 and 1/4? I can't remember. But I do remember this figure very well. And Hunter Studio, they actually make a lot of One Piece stuff. Now this is a high-res image, so I can zoom in. Wow! This is very nice. Whew. Man! I don't even care or collect One Piece stuff, but I am very impressed. This is very nice, Hunter Studio. Right. Moving up next, this is another Discord post by Segnio Necron. Did I pronounce that right? So you went all out and purchased Imagination Studios Raiden Shogun. You had a small problem, which we'll get to that in a second. Firstly, I know that the pictures don't look that good, but give the guy a break. Yeah, the pictures is dark. Come on, turn on the lights. I know you're jacking off this amazing figure, but turn on the lights if you want to take some pictures. Now, there are LEDs in the background and in the base, but don't turn them on all the time, right? Blue light is unhealthy for the paintwork of the figure. You can turn them on when you have visitors checking out your collection or you want to take pictures. So this is what the figure looks like. This thing is too huge. This is like $500 if I remembered correctly, and no thank you. I'm happy with the one by FFS Studio, even though the pose makes it hard to enjoy looking at her face. Yeah. And whoa, this is like looking at a gaming PC already, and all of the RGB lights. Okay, so this is the problem you faced where the parts are not aligning properly. So I'll cut to the chase over here. Looking at this picture, this gold color part, the very bottom end, is not sitting in this notch. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse cursor. Yep, right here. Yeah, there is a notch over there for the part to sit inside, and it is not sitting correctly, and you were concerned whether it would inflict any damage on the figure in the long term, because there is a constant amount of weight, right, pressing on the base over there. For this kind of thing, yeah, small surface area means high amounts of pressure, right? But will the base start showing any cracks in the long term? I would say unlikely, as long the room temperature, yeah, your room temperature is well controlled. I don't think you have to worry too much, but it is still a bit unfortunate that this happened. How did something like this happen? The same exact thing as the Arctic Wolf Studio figure of Seele earlier. There is a slight distortion of the resin parts due to shrinkage, and now they no longer align properly. Yeah. This is just a less severe version of it. Moving on to the next one, Imagination Studio as well. The picture quality on this is kind of crap, so I can't zoom in. And they sure are going all out with the base design of this Denheng figure from Honkai Star Rail. Yeah, no point zooming in, the face is completely blurry over here. If this is too much for you, Apex Toys has a figure of him, yeah. But I do have a picture of his face right here. This is like a screenshot of a video clip. I think it looks okay, but he has that expression as if he doesn't care about anything anymore. He is so sick of everything, like yeah, that face expression over there. Next one here, an announcement from Imagination Studio. This is a Discord post. Honkai Star Rail Firefly, the SAM version, completion date is expected to be in middle of April. So hopefully by the time I publish this video, she is out. There is a small amount of rectification work since lights are being added to the original base mold with high level lighting effects. The production difficulty has increased significantly, leading to the delay until now. So it is nice that even though this will increase the difficulty of manufacturing the figure, they are still going all out. I respect that a lot. So we do have a video in a second. I know that the base over here without the LEDs looks like a bastardized version of an LGBT flag. Like, what kind of color is this for a base? But wow, once you turn on the lights, it looks amazing, right? One of those pictures that make me wish that I wasn't so poor. And this is a video actually. This is what it looks like when you turn on the lights. It looks incredible. So my opinion on this is that don't turn on the light to the maximum brightness. I think somewhere in between or a dim glow would be the best result. And let me play this video for a second. So if there is one thing that I don't like, it is the flashing. See, yeah, this flashing, this is not good. This is actually bad for the health of some people with a medical condition, which I can't think of the name right now. I'm putting the name of this medical condition on screen. Yes, if you have this condition, then flashing lights can trigger it. So ideally, I would want a constant light that is not too bright. So that dim glow earlier, which we saw, yeah, this kind of look is the best, and I hope that they give us a remote control of some kind to control the lighting. That would be perfect. But this is already a perfect base. Yeah. Okay, and these are pictures of Yai Miko from Imagination Studio. I think by now, the figure has been released already. This is a picture from before they applied a clear PU coating to protect the figure. Okay, up next we have Ironbird Studio, Yuan from Honkai Star Rail, and this is a crap image. No point zooming in, and the highlights are being clipped over here. So clipped highlights means that the bright areas of the picture are too bright that you can't see any details anymore. Like white color surfaces of the outfit, if it gets too bright, then it turns completely white. We call that clipped highlights in photography terms, right? So this is borderline clipping the highlights already, but the face looks fine, just that this is far from the best Yuan figure I've seen, but they have made so many units, obviously they are selling well. Up next, we have this Firefly figure from HuI Studio, and once again, low quality image, but when I saw this picture a couple of weeks back then, I have some questions about the face because I'm not liking the face, to be honest. This one also comes with Sam, as you can see in the background. And this version is cheaper than the Imagination Studio version earlier by about $100. I'm not sure if there are any LED lights, but it is cheaper. And okay, this face over here, from this angle, I think it looks fine. It looks exactly like Firefly, but it does not give off the vibe of Firefly as a character. Like, she looks a bit too serious in a way. I'm not sure if that is the right word, but yeah, it feels a little bit off to me. Alright, moving on to the next one. What do we have? Okay, coming from Light and Dust Studio, we have Stellar Blade Eve. This is the pictures I could get, so we couldn't zoom in the face. But from this distance, right, I can tell that the face is somewhat accurate compared to the official product pictures that I covered back then. So all is good. In fact, this is a nice looking figure of Eve. And the next one here, Light Team Studio, has a child version of Violet Evergarden. Is this from the movie? I haven't watched the movie yet, right? So to me, this one looks a little bit weird. It is like the head of an adult being combined with the body of a child once again. They should make her face sculpt look a bit younger, right? It is too matured looking in my opinion. But the paintwork on the military uniform is, I love it. That olive green over there, the military green over there is beautiful. Yeah. This has to be based off the movie. I haven't watched it yet. Okay, up next. This thing is a work of art. Lightyear Studio, licensed resin figure, Ghost Blade, and I don't know the name of this character. I'm just sharing the pictures with you over here because a picture says 1,000 words or something like that. Bro, this is stunning. And this is not official product pictures they take before before the figure releases, right? This is final product pictures. This is as perfect as it gets for a 1x4 scale resin figure. Is it 1/4 or 1/6? But anyways, look at the transparent piece of cloth behind her. It looks so realistic. Wow. I am speechless. Up next, we have Lightyear Studio again, Lupine the Third. Of course, I don't remember the name. Oh, the name is there. Mine Fujiko. Okay, so licensed figure, I think. And the bike. I want the bike. I don't care about the character, but I want the bike. Paintwork. Nice heavy shading. I always look for that. Look at her hair. Look at the turquoise outfit. Like the colors over here, they mix together so well, man. Let's call it Miku Green. That's turquoise, right? Anyway, Miku Green and orange. Perfect combination. The only problem I have with this figure is that the water splashes there is so unnecessary. I think without that, the figure would look better. It is making the whole statue look a bit too complicated, too cluttered to my liking. I mean, the base is fine, you know? And yeah, the road surface, everything is fine. Just that without the water splash, and it would be perfect for me. The next one here, another Firefly figure by LoveHolic Studio. The face on this is actually a bit better than the HuI Studio one. But that printed background is like, I guess you can display without it if you wish. Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about that. But I'm here for the face only. I want to see whether the face is any good. But unfortunately, this picture is like 1700 pixels, which means I can't zoom in. My screen over here is 3000 pixels, right? So no point zooming in, it will be a blurry mess. Up next, we have Manta Studio CC from Code Geass, and you know what? This is also one of the best third-party figures in today's episode. This looks so legit. It looks like something from Mega House or Bandai. Oh! I love this purple version. This is shiny. Oh! I'm a big fan of her. I'm a big fan of CC, but somehow until today, I don't have a single scale figure of her. This is as good as a genuine figure, and my only wish is that this to be in PVC. Okay, up next, we have MIMO Studio, Anya. Wow, they made so many. Okay. You know, when I look at this figure, it is so tiny, and then these Anya figures, they cost like $80 or $100 each. I was like, yeah, they have always felt pretty expensive to me. Next one here, more HuiXiang Studio One Piece Yamato version 2.0. So with Yamato, usually we don't have to worry much. Like, there are no studios that I know of that mess up her face, right? I think the faces of One Piece characters, they are fairly easy to get it right. Right, texture on the outfit is excellent. Yep. No problems with the face right there. Looks accurate enough. Moving on to the next. Okay, a clearer picture over here. But more HuiXiang Studio. This studio, they make a lot of One Piece stuff. And they are widely available. Not too difficult to find. Moving up next, RP Studio, Evangelion Asuka. And this is a huge figure. So, Arkiwheel, if you are watching this, yeah, you purchased one and you sent me the pictures as well. The face is fine, everything looks good to me. And to me, this is more like a joke item in a way, even though this scene did happen in the anime. So this is a nice looking figure. Up next, we have Sanji Studio Chainsaw Man Makima. So this is not a very detailed figure, not too far off PVC figures, just that it looks a bit detailed because of the the blood splash on her, yes. The face is similar to Makima, I would say. Quite nice. And you know Chainsaw Man, the Blu-ray release, it flopped really badly. They did not sell many copies. But somehow, every brand are still making so many figures from Chainsaw Man. So there is like this mismatch, you know. So there is this mismatch, you know. I think what the Japanese people like and what the international audience like could be very different. In Japan, it did not do very well, but outside of Japan, it is like kind of popular. So many third parties make figures from Chainsaw Man, and yeah, even the figure market is so full of Chainsaw Man figures. So I'm not sure why. Okay, moving on to the next one, Starexva Studio, licensed resin figure brand. Claymore Teresa looks good. They should, because it is a licensed figure. And with Claymore, well, I watched the anime back in college like 10 years ago. I don't remember anything anymore. 2000 pixels. I wonder how much I can zoom in the image. I don't think, not by much. Yeah, not much. Oh, the face is pretty. The face is really good. Cool. Sasuga licensed resin brands, I guess. Very nice. Alright, moving up to the next one. Strange Thief Studio. Okay, from Detective Conan. I'm not sure what is her name. I think something Plymouth, right? Yeah, classic anime characters, usually they turn out fine. So the face here looks fine to me. Moving on to the next one. This is very nice. TGZW Studio original character Senji Muramasa. They call it original character, but this reminds me of a certain Azalane character. Yeah, you know which one. However, between black and red suit, this is tough. Because the black suit, you get this red color robes, so you have a color contrast over there. Face is perfection. I love it so much. But I think I'm leaning towards the red color one a bit more because it reminds me of Anne Takamaki's hot body. Yeah, the one from Persona 5. And when she dressed up in that red suit, oh, I love this one. I would love to have one. Up next, another Discord post. This is coming from the Hapadon. So you have purchased this figure of Nico Robin from One Piece. This is made by TGZW Studio. You know, initially I was like, okay, she looks fine. And then I wasn't thinking too much about it. And then when I start checking out the close-up pictures, I was like, oh, the figure looks better than I thought. It looks way better in person, I guess. So I look at the paintwork over here on the wings, right? The color transition from orange to pink is very nice. But if I have a concern, it would be whether the wings will start sagging down over time due to weight and also in hot climates that might happen. Yeah, my only concern over here, the two lower wings are in contact with the base. It is supported, so that should be fine. The problem is the two upper wings. Oh, okay, there is a support. You see the lower portion over here, the lower portion of the wing is being supported by this flame effect part. Very smart. Hopefully the upper one also has some support. Let's have a look at the rear view of the figure. Okay, there is support. This one is supporting the middle wing. And then, okay, the upper wing does not have any support from the looks of it, but the middle one has support from the base. So sometimes, you know, these figure companies, they need to be smart with their figure design. They need to provide additional support for heavy parts so that problems don't arise after some time. Okay. This is good enough. More than good enough. The next one here from Third Eye Studio, The Legend of Zelda Pura. I don't know if it is the viewing angle, but her glasses are a bit tilted, and this being a resin figure, I wouldn't want to try and adjust it without risking breaking anything. Still looks fine enough. I remember this figure very well. This one just went on pre-order a few months ago, not too long ago. What's funny about Legend of Zelda is that everyone only cares about Link and then no one ever mentions about other characters. At least that is what I observed online. Okay, the detail on her thighs are nice. Must be decal work. And I love the base a lot. Right, up next, from Toufou Figure Studio with Kama from FGO. Okay, so I don't have any pictures of her face, and then some people accuse Toufou figure of screwing up the face, and they are trying to hide it by not showing pictures of the face. But with Toufou Figure Studio, well, they have made many FGO figures before this and they mostly turned out fine, just that they are on the expensive side. So I wouldn't worry about this too much, and it is not every day you get a Hadaka figure of FGO characters, so this might be worth considering if you find one in stock. Yeah. I want the Kadokawa version, yeah, the one that costs over 30,000 yen, and until today I haven't purchased it yet. Because money. Up next, coming from Toxic Studio where Bochi the Rock Hitori Goto. Only one picture, I think. Yeah, only one picture. Let's see how much we can zoom in because we don't get a clear view of her face. I hope that they took the picture at a lower angle so that we get to see her face clearer. Okay, I think the face is fine. Even from this angle, Aniplex is giving us a set of very high quality PVC figures, not yet out, so you should check out those if you want PVC figures of Hitori Goto or any other members of this anime. Moving up next, we have Toys My Dream Studio Uta from One Piece. I remember this one very well, 2 color versions. And the alternate color version, the purple one is really nice, very shiny, bling bling, and they also have Boa Hancock in this similar outfit over here. They were like $110, $120 each. So it looks good. This looks pretty good. No complaints from me. Up next, WakuWaku Studio, the Anya Forger Master. So what do they have this time around? Oh. Yep, Anya Forger Master. Look at how good this figure looks. People keep buying them. That's why they keep making it, right? This is like a perfect Anya figure. It couldn't get any better than this. And I'm a big fan of tennis. Moving up next, okay, this is a Discord post coming from Song Yue. So you shared a picture of this purchase with us. I'm not sure which brand made this figure right here. This is from World of Warcraft. But let me guess and you tell me down in the comments below whether I'm right or wrong. Is this by ACY Studio? Because it looks like something they would make. Looks like. I'm just guessing over here. So tell me if I'm correct or wrong in the comments below. This looks pretty, very nice. Just that... well, I'm not a fan of World of Warcraft or Dota. In fact, I'm going to tell you guys something so surprising right now. From the very first day I was born on this planet until today, over 30 years later, the amount of screen time, the amount of game time I've spent on Dota or World of Warcraft or any of the variants of that game, it is less than 1 hour. Yes, I'm not a fan of that kind of game, so I don't play it. Back when I was in college, everyone was playing the game, over the local LAN network. Yeah, it was insane. ACY Studio, if it is, their 1x4 skills are pretty good. Yes. Moving up next, another third party, or another Discord server post. Okay, so coming from Ikereknell, I have to send you some condolences for this one. Okay, so let's zoom in a bit for this post over here. Reality versus prototype. I lost with this one. I have her, but I am sad about this man. And then I replied, is this the one by MIMO Studio? Because they made something similar. And he said, no, this is made by Xing Studio. Yeah, fortunately, it is not MIMO Studio. Because from what I remember, MIMO's figures are way better than this, right? So, let's get back to the gallery. This looks a bit like a bootleg. I'm sorry, bro, but this really looks like a bootleg. Like a less refined version of whatever that was being promised in this product picture over here, right? This looks like the kind of official PVC figure that Apex Toys would make, unless there is a bootleg version, and this is what it looks like. The face is a bit off as well, and the skin is too yellow, but at the same time, I'm not sure if this is because of lighting or white balance problems with the camera. So putting aside the skin color, the face is already off, and everything else, the outfit, the bag she's having, it is like slightly lower in detail compared to what was being shown over here. Yeah. Moving up next, we have Xing Studio Final Fantasy VII Tifa, and this is available in 1x1 scale and 1x2 scale, half scale. You already know what the 1x1 is, what kind of doll is that, so I'll spare you the details. If you want a pink gate, you have to buy something like this, no more Dodomo Studio figures. As for the face on this one, right, there is some resemblance with Tifa, but it is also not Tifa at the same time. It feels like looking at a very pretty model or cosplayer who is cosplaying as Tifa, and she did a fairly good job. Yeah, it feels that way to me. Right, up next, from Yao MengMeng Studio, I have two figures over here. The first one, something is a bit lacking. Like, I'm not sure if it is the paintwork not looking nice enough, but this figure of Furina over here from Genshin Impact, I can't say I like it, but the face looks fine at the same time. Yes, it is probably the outfit, I think. It looks a bit unpolished to me, but that is just me. And I can't even zoom in because this is a low resolution image once again. However, the next one right here, yeah, this figure of Kafka by the same studio, this one looks fantastic, just that I wish there is more shading on the hair. I compare this to my Imagination Studio one, it is like a light and day difference. The face, I think this is a bit better. This is quite a bit better, but the hair, the Imagination Studio one is so much nicer with the way they gradient the hair. And yep, this is a high-res image. There is something I want to show you right here. We zoom in. You see this texture over here? We don't get this with genuine PVC figures. Yeah, regardless of scale. That is the sad part. So, this figure is almost there. Almost there, just that with a bit of changes to a hair, this would be perfect. This is not the best Kafka figure, but a really good one. And if I remembered correctly, this was somewhere between $180 to $210 during pre-order last year. Up next, we have another Ellen Joe figure by YOLO Studio and Baji Studio. Okay, if you see the word Baji Studio over there, you know that it is going to be good. And Baji Studio is one of very few Chinese brands left that make 18 plus figures, though this one does not appear to be customable. Face, it looks fine. Detail, her maid outfit, everything looks amazing over here. Just that I still like the Ghost Train Studio version only a bit more. Right? This is not bad, just that personal preference. And then there is this object over here included with the figure if you buy the deluxe version. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. Is it like a tiny mascot character? Because in my opinion, this looks more like something you shove up your girlfriend's ass. Yeah. So it looks nice, but it looks like something that I don't think I can mention on YouTube. I don't think. And this is what the face sculpt looks like. Not bad. And this is my kind of thing. Wow. Details are my kind of thing. So this is beautiful. This is very promising. And then we have YorHa Studio 2B. And this is like a crossover or some kind of art version by a famous artist. Wait, hold on a second. Is the artist behind this figure or this artwork Dish, D-I-S-H? Because this really looks like his or her artwork, like the art style. It feels familiar. This looks like art from Dish to me. Is this licensed? I'm not sure, but this feels really familiar. And the figure looks amazing. Just that with all these transparent parts around the waist region, yeah, there is some plastic, but this figure has translucent parts and time will only tell how long they will last. Because depending on the quality of the material they use, these translucent, transparent parts on anime figures, sometimes they turn yellow over time after like 5 years or so. Yeah. Very nice, I like it. YorHa Studio is doing great work over here. And then the last studio for today, ZH Studio. This is among the best Anya figures in today's video. I think right next to the Buddha version earlier. This is like a crossover with Pokemon, and this is a Halloween limited figure. If I were to buy this one, obviously I would go for this short face. Right, this is the best face you should get. If you buy this Anya figure, I like this a lot. There's nothing I would change with this figure over here. Nicely executed by ZH Studio. And that is all for today's video of which third-party resin figure brand is any good. I think 90% of the examples today are fairly decent. There were like 2 or 3 figures that are not as good, but mostly decent for everyone else. So I hope that this figure is informative and helpful. And if it is, please to give this video a like, subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. And I will see you again soon. I'm not sure how short Figure News Fix would be this coming weekend on Sunday, because it is Golden Week holiday in Japan. So I'm not expecting many new figure pre-orders, right? Third parties maybe, but for Japanese side, probably nothing much. Maybe 5 figures at most. So we will see. I don't know yet. Until then, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Goodbye.